everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and here today I am going to tell you guys about something that I'm going to be doing this upcoming weekend, which for you guys will be 10 seconds from now, but that's fine because we don't talk about that. We gotta move on. Okay, anyways, I'm going to Fort Revere. And Fort Revere is a place in Hull, Massachusetts that was a fort for the war. It is one of the haunted locations that is closest to me. I'm going to be going there Saturday with my friend Madison for a photo shoot, and we're also going to be collabing on my YouTube video to do a quick little ghost hunt, go walk around, see what's going on down there for that. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit about the history of Fort Revere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys the regular history, then the haunted history, and then a couple different excerpts from a website that I found about Massachusetts hauntings, telling people's experiences about going to Fort Revere. So originally it was built in 1777 and it was called Fort Independence, and it was built for the American Revolution. It is a star-shaped earthen fort that was used to protect Boston Harbor from the British invasion. It was also used by the American and French troops, and in 1778 actually, most of 200 French soldiers died of smallpox on site of the fort. They had additional developments, and it was renamed as Fort Revere in honor of Paul Revere. And this was then used by the U.S. Army and Coastal Artillery Defense System through both World Wars. For over 50 years, thousands of soldiers would come in and out of Fort Revere. It ended up being decommissioned by the end of World War II, and then it was sold as a park by 1975. In the park, people would have concerts, plays, and war reenactments of any type of recreational activity that you can think of in a park. They had events for. Since the decommissioning, the mess hall, admiral quarters, hospital, and bakery are no longer standing. As part of the smallpox death toll, a lot of the soldiers that were stationed there after this started hearing unusual noises coming from the underdwellings of the buildings, even in places where basements weren't located. They also heard strange whispers in the tunnels coming from seemingly nowhere. Skeptics have tried to debunk this as there could have been animals or sounds coming from the underground ground that bounced off the walls of these concrete tunnels. So it's really not something that specifically can be said is paranormal, but still it's unsettling to hear unspecific noises while you're in a tunnel underground when no one around you is specifically talking, when these strange noises are whispers. In modern times, people typically end up seeing shadows in doorways or rushing along the walls, and since there are some areas with high ceilings in Fort Revere, skeptics have said that it could be animals in the rafters, but typically there doesn't seem to be any real light source that should be causing these shadows from that angling. So it really makes people wonder what exactly is going on in Fort Revere that makes them see these things. Some people have tried to write it off as just paranoia, but it isn't always paranoia when you have either evidence or other things like that to stake your claim. During World War I and II, there were also reports of men speaking French being heard around the campus, as well as the glow and smell of tobacco pipes in unoccupied rooms. I'm going to go to this website called mahauntedhouses.com. So I'm only going to read you guys a couple different experiences that are on here. I'm going to go reverse chronological, so most recent to oldest. This one is titled, "My Meditation Place Was Haunted. I've been going to Fort Revere for 18 years to meditate, and I'd been going for years to find a quiet space to watch the ocean without busy beach walkers. One day I'm sitting there alone, looking out on the ocean view from the hood of my car, when I was startled to hear the large heavy metal rings that sit inside cement indents in the wall banging hard. That happens when there are people playing around them, but I was alone. I was on top of the hill for a while, and I could see all of the rings from where I was sitting. Not a soul was around. I went down and played with them, but they aren't easy to move, and I don't think the wind could have done that. I've been hundreds of times since, all times of year, all weather, all times of day, and I have never experienced that again. I often hear voices, but I assume that because I'm alone, I question it as paranoia." Another one was posted on August 23rd of 2018, titled The Most Paranormal Experience of My Life. This morning I stumbled upon Fort Revere. I had no previous experience at this place and no prior knowledge until I looked up the history. I parked my car and was at first curious about the fenced-in monument. I approached it and noticed the fence was largely in disrepair. In fact, I was able to step right over it and approach the padlocked door to the monument. At first there was silence, and then I put my ear up to the door and I heard a sort of steady moaning. At first I thought it could have been some animal trapped inside the monument. I have no idea how it could have gotten inside, however. This continued for at least a full minute when I decided to knock on the door. All of a sudden, I heard footsteps rush down what I assume is a metal staircase inside. Then it stopped suddenly. I was so freaked out that I ran back towards the parking lot. I have no explanation for what happened to me. This one is very brief. It was posted on May 13th of 2018. It's just captioned, "Love it." I visited the fort a couple times, and I have to say I personally believe that there is some sort of paranormal presence at the fort. I received multiple unexplained EMF spikes in the fort. Because there is no electricity in the fort, there is no reason for EMF spikes, along with the creepy feelings of someone who isn't there watching you. I saw the silhouette of a person looking around a corner in a doorway. Alright guys, so the weirdest thing just happened. I was editing this video, after I filmed it, sitting down, getting my grind on, and I get to the final stretch of the video, which is me telling my personal experience about my one time visiting Fort Revere, and something happened with my mic where it had a lot of feedback. I'll insert a clip here. I've been to Fort Revere once before. It was probably 10:30 at night. They close at 6 p.m. And I don't know why it did that. It was the only one in the string of videos to do it. I even recorded a test record in between what I just recorded and right now to see what it would sound like. I didn't touch my mic. I didn't do anything to it. It just started recording like that. So I think that's weird. Because I do film my videos in segments, so it's easier for me to edit and differentiate what I'm talking about. So that was my final segment, was talking about my own personal experience, and I just think it's weird that that solo clip decided to be like that. So hopefully this one maintains its integrity, and I can tell you more about my experience at Fort Revere. It was a few years ago. I was 16 or 17 at the time. It was about 10:30 p.m. The park is closed at 6, so no one should be there. And I'm there with two of my friends, my friend Alyssa and one of her friends, who I actually don't remember the name of because it was actually her friend. And we decided to go to Hull to just, hang out, go have a night on the town. We find ourselves at Fort Revere. And driving up the hill, I'm already scared. I don't even want to get out of my car when I get up here, and I don't get out of my car. But Alyssa and her friend do get out of the car and they go explore. We're maybe there for a max of 15 minutes, and the entire time I'm looking over my shoulder trying to keep my eyes on them to just make sure that they're going to be safe, because I'm not out with them. I can't protect them or anything. I have to wait for them, and I'm trying to also be vigilant in case someone else is in the park and sees that, oh, look at this girl, she's a teenager, she's alone by herself, let me try to steal her car or mug her, or just any general thing like that. I wanted to try to prevent by, keeping my doors locked. So I'm trying to watch for them, and I'm looking over my shoulder right before they come back, and I see someone standing in a bush, and they duck down into the bush very fast. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird, but I assumed it was either one of them playing a trick on the other one, or, just trying to see something, or maybe hide from something. I assumed it was one of them. I wasn't scared by what it was. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. But then as soon as I disregarded that thought in my head, I hear Alyssa screaming her head off, running back from where she was, which was apparently on the other side of that bush down the hill more. And she's saying, start the car, we gotta go, let's get out of here. And I am I'm obviously complying. I'm turning on my car. I'm like, yeah, let's get out of here. This is scary. And I realize her friend still isn't back from down the hill. Where is he? I don't want to pull out of this parking lot without him in the car. And then he runs up and gets in, and he's like, okay, oh my God, that was so scary. And I'm like, what happened? And they tell me that while they were down the hill, they also saw the guy in the bush, but they also heard other noises and could smell really strong, smoke, and they thought they could hear chanting. And I was like, that's really bizarre. I don't know. was scary. And, like, we were nervous, and we went home. And, like, that was the last of it. Like, nothing really came of it after that. But I just think it's interesting that, like, that footage that I just recorded sounds like that. So I'm confused as to why it just suddenly decided to crackle out. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Do all the things you guys love to do. I also have a TikTok. Should I include my TikTok? I don't think you guys care about my TikTok. I'm pretty boring. I haven't posted in months because I have 2 followers. So maybe follow me on TikTok. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in